And his paperwork because he on his way to turning something. He said, well, I don't know who he is. He said, but you must got some big feet in the penitentiary because this don't normally happen. He said, I need you to sign that paper. So I said, what is it? He said, you get moved to another prison. I said, oh, that was up. I already knew what time it was because I done hollered at my pop. I signed the paper. They sent me, now I'm just waiting to get transferred, but at the same time, I got a threat on my life already. So look, check this out. So one morning they come back, my Sally, my homeboy from my ex-girlfriend, nephew, they knock on the door, pop, 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 pop. Hey, they say his name. When they say his name, they say, pack up. You going to court today. He got to go back to court. He already got a license. So he packing his stuff up. Oh, I'm depressed in here. This is my only help. I'm thinking to myself, man, that's crazy. He be like, man, just stay low, you know what I'm saying? Go to work, come in, you know what I'm saying? Cause they done opened the pod up a little bit. We getting out for 2 hours. It's 22 and 2. He like, man, don't come out on wreck. He was like, cuz them, you know what I'm saying? Even though you ain't something, he be like, man, all of them gonna ride together. I'm telling you, man, just stay out the way until I get back. So about 15 minutes passed. They come back. Boom, 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 boom. Bam. 41, 41, 46. Pack up. I look at my Sally look at me and my Sally looking at each other. I said, who? He said, where you going at? Because I hadn't even told him. I said, oh, I got reclassified. I said, oh, I'm finna go to another penitentiary. I'm finna go to penitentiary with my dad. He said, what? He said, how you do that? I said, man, I ain't do it. He done it. So I hurry up, pack my stuff. Soon as they pop the door for everybody who getting on the train, who getting on the bus to go wherever they going. Whether they going to another penitentiary or they going to court. They pop out all about door. Pop, 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 pop. Whole time I'm looking down to make sure they don't pop dude door. Because if they pop dude door, I'm gonna have to come out with the little butcher that I got. So they don't pop his door. I come out, I go around the opposite way. I slide the butcher back to the homeboy. Here you go. I ain't gonna need. He said, man, where you going there, Josie? I said, I'm going to turn or something. So when I say that, I don't know how he heard me. He said, hey, cuz, you finna get on the train, cuz? I said, man, what's up? He said, man, what penitentiary you going to, homeboy? He said, I'm finna call homeboy and them right now. He said, man, you can't go nowhere. He said, man, you ain't gonna escape this debt, cuz. He said, you gonna pay this debt or it is gonna be what it is. I said, man, you ain't talking about nothing, homie. He said, hey, CO. Man, I need to get out of the cell real quick, CO. He started tapping on the window with the butcher. Hey, CO. The CO started walking up the steps. Man, what's going on, man? What do you need, man? He not knowing. He finna walk to the door and almost probably let this man out. It's finna go down right here. I done slid this man, this butcher back. The CO get to the door. He said, man, what do you need, man? He said, man, it's emergency, man. I need to come out of the cell real quick, man. I need to call my lawyer, man. I'm supposed to get a lawyer phone call today. He said, man, I'm gonna have to go out here and talk to the counselor about that, man. You supposed to be getting an attorney call, man. That's supposed to already be arranged. He said, man, He said, man, I need to get out the cell, man. He said it's emergency, man. I need to call my lawyer, man, about some stuff that's going on with my case, man. I supposed to be going to court today. He said, man, y'all letting everybody out the cell that's going to court or going to other penitentiary. And I'm sitting there here, man, and I'm waiting, man. I'm supposed to be going to court. He said, man, I need to call my lawyer now so I can see what's going on. Because y'all ain't gonna make me miss. I'm listening to this man run down this whole scenario. He just popped off the top of his head because he desperate enough to throw away what his whole life and future at the potential of stabbing somebody. He don't know what's gonna happen. Over $50. I'm listening to this man. I'm thinking to myself, man, he tripped. Like, you really trying to get out the cell that bad? So I'm sitting here and I'm looking, and the CO said, man, I'm not finna do that, man. I'm not finna do that. It's already enough going on. And he walked off the door. When he walked off the door, I'm looking at dude looking at me and dude looking at each other. He said, oh, you ain't gotta worry about that, homie. He said, you ain't gotta worry about that. He said, cause wherever you go, I promise you, homie, it's still gonna be the same thing wherever you go. So I walk downstairs. When I walk my little bow-legged tail down the stairs, I'm laughing, right? I'm laughing to myself because within myself at the time, even though I hadn't saved my life, I was kind of thanking the Most High. I was watching the Most High really irritate the enemy in such a way, but at the same time, he was protecting me. Let me tell you something. When things are going on, sometimes you can't even see when the Most High is protecting you. And because I'm fresh into a situation. You might be fresh into a situation right now that you can't even see really what's going on the opposite end, which is a spiritual end. I come to this penitentiary finna have to adjust, learn how to cope, and learn how to survive in the penitentiary, which I'm not ready for at the time. But let me tell you something about the protection of the Most High. Even though I stepped into this situation and I was probably already being manipulated by Marcella at the time, who was telling me he gonna take his charge, which he probably wasn't gonna take his charge because I was saying that I wasn't affiliated at the time. So if the police would have ran in there, guess what would have happened? He would have probably tried to force me to take the charge because I wasn't affiliated. Not only that, he would have probably made me take the liquor charge as well. Which guess what that would have done? It would have made me stay on close security even longer if I would have had to take the charge. And if he didn't take the charge, both of us would have got hit with the charge. Which either way it go, I was in a lose-lose situation. Not only that, the homeboy Trouble, you know what I'm saying, Most High rest his soul, even though he was letting me use the phone, acting like he was messing with me, at that time, guess what? That wasn't even free. All of that was manipulation. Even when he was saying, man, Joe T, get the phone card because I'm letting you use the phone. At the same time, that was a tactic and a strategy as well, as a newcomer who come in the penitentiary. Everybody that I was attached to, as soon as I came into close security, was already manipulating the situation. Even when I moved into the cell with my ex-girlfriend home, even he had a whole lot of time. He had extremely. He's still doing time to this day. He loved me to death. I love him. We love each other. But at the same time, I knew he was more attached to me for his own personal security because he knew me personally. It had nothing to do with him wanting to ride with me. It had something to do with him having a lot of time in him. If he crashed with me, we both gonna stay in trouble. Everybody that I was attached to, the dude who was asking me to take stuff over and do this and do that, the other people who was asking me to take stuff over and do this and do that, I was already being used in the penitentiary. But see, the Most High already knew that. The Most High already knew that all of that was going to take place. The devil was already trying to pull me in to a situation I was going to be forced into everything. I wasn't going to have no choice. And right now, you probably don't even realize how you being pulled here, pulled there, pulled from every which way. You're being forced in all of these ways. And guess what? It's detrimental to your mental. It's detrimental to your spiritual growth. It's detrimental to everything that the Most High wants to do in your life. But it's something you're not aware of it at the time. You may not see it the way that you need to see it. You might be scared. It might be fear. But see, it's a scripture when he said it's 1 Timothy or either 2 Timothy 1 chapter 7 when he said the Most High didn't give us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. See, you might be operating out of fear right now, doing a lot of stuff that you ain't got no business doing. But see, the Most High knowing that, he's sitting high and he's looking low. And he's saying eventually, I'm going to have to remove you from this situation. And when I remove you from the situation, it's going to be some people who are going to be upset that you get removed from the situation. And they're not going to understand why you getting removed from the situation. It's because of the assignment that's on your life, and it's what I need you to do. So in order for you to do my will and do what I need you to do, I see right now I'm gonna have to take you and I'm gonna have to move you away. Because when I took and I gave the knife back, the dude asked me where was I going. When he asked me where was I going, it was more so of, man, he finna escape this more so than he was trying to protect me. Dude who was itching to get out of that cell, that was a representation of the enemy saying, man, if I can't get him now, I have to get him now because he about to get away. And even though he about to get away, I need to cast some kind of fear, keep some kind of bondage and captivity on him of the fear, and tell him wherever he go, it's gonna follow him. See, the enemy wants you to think wherever you at right now, if I remove you from the situation, it's gonna follow you. And no matter where you go, you still that same person. You've made that same mistake. You have that same character. You have those same flaws. It don't matter. As long as I can cast that fear in you, wherever you go, I can still hold you captive. But see, the minute that he didn't let him out of that cell, and I started walking down them steps, and I'm laughing to myself, even though I didn't realize it at the time, the protection of the Most High was always with me. Even when I did not deserve it, when I did not expect it, when listen to me, I could not see it, could not feel it, felt hopeless. The whole time he was doing it. And some people, you can't see it until he pull you out. I couldn't see it till years later. It's several situations I can explain to where it's like, dang, he pulled me out of this. Dang, he pulled me out of this. Dang, as soon as dang, I'm alive right now. Never been shot, never been stabbed. I survived a whole year in 10 years in penitentiary without getting extorted, without getting beat up, without getting mistreated. The same thing on the streets. Even though I was living how I was living, guess what? At the same time, it was a sense, it was a hedge, it was a hinge of protection had to been over me, had to been covering me. And there's a lot of people who watching this right now. You probably ain't gave the Most High the credit that he deserved. You probably ain't gave him the thanks that he deserved. You probably not as grateful and appreciative as you should be, because I guarantee you, if you look back through your memory bank, it's no telling how many times the Most High done showed up and showed out and showed you that he's got you protected. And then you end up putting yourself back into a situation. When he snatched me out of that right there, I was already able to see how gangs operate, how people manipulate, how they take advantage. And get what? I go to the next penitentiary and still went through the whole process of officially becoming affiliated. And then once I jumped into that, all of them stories, I still end up moving a certain type of way. And get what? He snatched me from that penitentiary right after them folks wanted to kill me, and then turn around and tell me they want to put me on the ballot to be the number one on the compound. He snatched me out of that situation, moved me to the little prison with my daddy. I get to the prison with my daddy, get what? The enemy sent this woman who knew was going to be vulnerable because she just got this job position. And get what? Out of all the inmates in this unit, it's 130, maybe 150 of them. Out of all of these inmates, she choose Joe T. Joe T choose her. We choose each other. And get what? I manipulate that situation. Started getting narcotics in the penitentiary, which was contributing to my behavior and my character and everything that I was already doing in every other penitentiary and what I was doing on the street. Then had no opportunity to change. Get what he do? First thing he do is he removed my daddy, which is what at that time she told me she didn't want to do nothing no more. I could have removed myself from the situation and just sit and chill. And then get what? I still somewhat manipulated her, persuaded her to do it one more time. And when she did it that one more time, get what? Green team on the rock, they everywhere. Then eventually, get what? They ended up moving me to another penitentiary again. And then here we go. I get to the penitentiary where my uncle at. I go full circle from the classification, all of these penitentiaries being affiliated. I get back to the same penitentiary that my uncle couldn't help me stay at it first, because I had to go through the process. I had to go through the pain. I had to go through the suffering. I had to go through everything I had to go through all these penitentiaries, and come back full circle and get right back to the place where I could have stayed at first if he wanted me to. For me to go to my uncle, though, I'm looking at him, he looking at me, we looking at each other. They on lockdown because a war just went down. He didn't even know who I was. And at that time, he had told me, I done gave my life to Christ. He said, man, that's over with. He said, everything out here, he said, man, everything you done heard from God. I used to send my uncle dope to the penitentiary. I know it's over, my uncle. He said, man, all this over with. He said, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I can't help you if you got your hand in anything. He said, other than that, he said, man, I can help you do anything on the compound. At that time, even though I was playing, I said, you know what, I'm going to give this a try. Which I got a whole story about that. You want to hear the transition on my life, how hard it was, how tough it was for me, like really the mental, it was so hard to really grasp the idea of doing something different, treating people different, moving different, you know what I'm saying? Not having to manipulate and get over and take advantage of people to get what it was I needed or trying to survive. Like literally transitioning my whole entire mindset into I'm gonna do it right. Like, you want to hear that story? Like I did. It's probably gonna be my favorite to tell because of how, not only how hard it was, but how beneficial it was to this day. But I said all that to say this. Chaos could be going on in your life. You probably got your hand in something you ain't got your business having your hand in. And I promise you, you can't see it, but he already done created an escape for you. He already done created a way for you to come out of it. He gonna give you another opportunity. He gonna give you another opportunity. He gonna give you another opportunity. I'm not saying take advantage of your opportunity, but we so finite in our mind, sometimes we can't even see it. We don't even understand it. And he keep trying to save you. He keep trying to save you. He keep trying to save you. And he give you another opportunity. He give you another opportunity. He give you a better relationship. He give you a better friendship. You manipulate that one. You take advantage of that one. He give you another job. You start complaining and groaning about that one. You don't like that one. He give you another opportunity. You don't take the opportunity because you feel like that opportunity is beneath you. Then he presents you another opportunity. And then when you take that opportunity, you realize, dang, I should have took the opportunity. And he keep on trying to save you and save you. I shouldn't be hanging with that with this person, with that person. My mama told me this person was my friend. And I still was sneaking and hanging with them, and then come to find out this person wasn't my friend. They were backstabbing me, wanted to sleep with my girl, didn't take their charge when they were supposed to take their charge. you start dealing with people that you know you ain't got no business dealing with. You back dealing with your homegirl that when you found out your homegirl was gossiping and talking about you, but you decide, you know, I'm gonna give her another opportunity. And then the Most High say, I gotta show you again that these ain't the people that you need to be around because they stunning your growth. Like he done showed you and showed you and showed you and showed you and showed you. And that's how it was. And finally, at some point, you're gonna have to realize, you know what? I need to take advantage of the opportunity.